carried. Mayor's report. Since this is our reorganizational meeting, as mayor, I'm required to give a State of the Village address to let everybody know the general condition of how our village is doing. And 2014 was a very good year for the village of Lordstown. We met our expectations and a little bit better as far as the budget. The clerk and I put it in front of the council last year, and we are looking that in about the next 2 years we should have enough money sitting in the debt service fund that we will have the money sitting to pay off the east side sewer. 3 20-year notes, so after that we can collect the interest and be able to use that money for the general operations of the village, but in case the economy would take a downturn, we will be in very good shape. We've got quite a few roads paved this year. Palmyra Road, north and south, Walker, Halleck Young west. We've got a top coat on Brunstetter and Yerke Young, and also the west end of Halleck Young Road. We were able to get quite a bit of funding for the next round of grants for the Bailey Road project. From federal SDP funding, we got approximately $1,998,625. From OPWC, Ohio Public Works Commission, SKIP grant, we're getting approximately $224,000. And we're also getting approximately $225,000 from the Turnpike Mitigation Fund. That's where the Turnpike sets money aside for any community which the Turnpike goes through, whether we have to have things corrected. We do have a couple drainage issues, and because of that, we were able to apply for the grant. We got $225,000, and I believe that project is going to come up in the calendar year 2016, which starts this coming July, so it will be between this coming July and the following July. A couple other things which have gone on in the village. This year we updated our drug and alcohol policy. The village acquired the Kunkel Reserve Base at the north end of the Space Center, and we do have that put back into use right now. It was in mothballs for about 7 years, and we're still looking at having an oil gas training center eventually, and also that may be used for Metallico somewhat when they do bring clients in for the business as they start going through the first of the year. We will be having a new industrial park coming into the village. The former Racer Trust property, which is on South Todd on the west side between the railroad tracks, south side of tracks, and Halleck Young, and North Point Development out of Kansas City will be developing that. We did finalize some tax sharing agreements, which we should have had in place, but for some reason they had got overlooked previously, with Metallico, Anderson DeVos, and Intier. Once again, we are co-sponsoring the Apple Cider Festival. We had a water line get relocated on Route 45 when they had done some work and put a third line in, railroad line going into the Space Center. When they installed that, we had a shutoff valve right in the middle of the tracks. We couldn't have that in case there was an emergency, so we did finally got that line relocated. That was a long, drawn-out process. We did get a new village sign out front and got a new one up at the corner telling everybody where Central Park is. Big asset. We got a new fire tanker. Everybody could have seen it out back. They were here till almost 6 o'clock. We got that through state bid at the cost of $524,500. In 2014, we did hire a new planning and zoning economic development director due to Mr. Harrison retiring. We finally got Imperial Communities tied into the east side sewer. We've got new in-car cameras for the police department. We did update our code red weather warning alert system. We're starting to look at updating some of our outdated sirens, and hopefully the safety committee will be getting to work on that. We are looking at upgrading all the lighting in the village buildings to for energy savings, and there is money in the capital improvements budget for that. We supported SCOPE with the school, so the SCOPE has a home at the back of the school. A couple of years ago, we were required to have a 20% match from the community in order to be able to get funding to keep our SCOPE going. So the village has contributed 10% of the budget, and the school board has given 10% in kind toward the rent for where SCOPE is. So we have that going for us. We did get one new cruiser this year and one new undercover car. It's been reported in the village newsletter about our village video. That has been completed. We are waiting to find out when it will be broadcast. That will give us about a week's head start, and we should be getting a copy of that for our village website. We also had Orwell Gas run 6 mile of gas line in the northwest corner of the village. I thought they were going to run a little bit more than that, but they did have a change in management. But I've been told that next year we should get the rest of the area in the northwest have gas lines, because that is oil and propane are kind of breaking some of our residents. So once we get the gas lines in place, that should be able to put more money in our residents' pockets. And last but not least, if everybody saw over the weekend, we had an announcement about the Lordstown Energy Center. They are looking at siting it on Hen Parkway. This is an $800 million project. This will be helping the schools out immensely. It will be about 1.6 to 1.8 million man hours to get constructed. It's a 30-month project. Approximately 500 to 550 full-time construction jobs while it's being built, and we'll have 23 to 28 good-paying full-time jobs once it's done. There will be a community open house next Tuesday, the 13th, up in the community room from 5 to 7:30. It will be very informal. They will have, from what I've been told, they're going to have posters and easels and have people there from the Ohio Power Siting Board and people from the Mr. Siderwitz from the Energy Center, and they will be there to answer residents' questions. This is for the community's input, and I invite all to come. That is a big asset for the village of Lordstown, and that is also for the capital improvements. I've had a copy put in everybody's box. Mr. Clerk Blank and I did reallocate funding for Bailey Road, and everybody should have had a list of what our new capital improvements are going to be. We're trying to get caught up on some of our paving. When GM was down a couple years ago, paving kind of got put on the back burner, but now we're coming along trying to get everything caught up, and in a couple of years we should be back where we used to be. That's it for the mayor.